What's up, Hattiesburg? It's your girl, Miracle Jennings, back with all the vibes for Southern Miss today. If you're tuned in, get ready to ride the wave because we've got a show that's going to keep you on your toes. From the hottest stories to some major surprises, we're bringing all the energy today. Stick around because I've got two very special guests lined up that you do not want to miss. Plus, we're diving deep into what makes Southern Miss the place to be. Don't even think about moving. We're coming in hot with more fun and excitement and all things Southern Miss right after this.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mr. Sippy Beverages. Mr. Sippy Beverages provides water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mr. Sippy Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mr. Sippy Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online.
Never completely ready to adopt a teen.
For late nights writing English papers.
For your teen's music taste.
For dinners, where they talk more on their phone than with you.
For the first time, they call you mom.
You're never completely ready to adopt a teen, and you can't imagine the reward.
To learn more about adopting a teen, visit adoptuskids.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
All right, Southern Miss fam, welcome back to the show that's got you covered with all the buzz on campus and beyond. Whether you're listening while grabbing your morning coffee or sneaking in a break between classes, we've got an exciting lineup, so sit back, relax, and let's dive into what's happening at Southern Miss and around our vibrant Hattiesburg community. First up, I've got something truly special for all you music lovers out there. On Wednesday, October 23rd from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m., the Southern Miss Horn Studio is hosting a recital featuring works composed specifically for horn, choir, and quartet. It's going to be a rich, sonorous experience that showcases the talent of our very own musicians here at Southern Miss. So if you're a fan of live music or just want to support your fellow students, mark your calendars. Following up on that, Thursday, October 24th at 7:30 p.m., the Faculty Artist Series brings you another phenomenal performance. This time, Dr. Richard Perry on tuba and Dr. Ellen Elder on piano are teaming up to deliver a truly one-of-a-kind recital. They'll be performing a mix of new compositions from modern composers like Charles Ingram and Amanda Harburg. But wait, they're also playing one of the most iconic pieces for tuba, Gordon Jacobs' Tuba Suite. Now, if you've never heard the deep, powerful sound of a tuba contrasted with the elegance of a piano, this is a chance to hear something truly magical. These performances really shine a spotlight on the diversity of music we're lucky to experience at Southern Miss. It's a perfect way to spend a Thursday evening, so be sure to check it out. Now, I know many of you are looking forward to the weekend, and let me tell you, it's going to be an exciting one, especially for our marching band fans. The Pride of Mississippi Marching Band is heading to Birmingham on Saturday, October 26th, to perform at the Alabama Marching Championship as a featured exhibition band at Spain Park High School. The Pride is famous for their energetic performances, and if you've seen them in action, you know exactly what I'm talking about. From their perfectly synchronized formations to the powerful sound that echoes in the stands, they always put on a show that leaves you feeling pumped and proud to be a Golden Eagle. Whether you're making a trip to Birmingham or cheering them on from here in Hattiesburg, let's send them all the good vibes. They're carrying that Southern Miss spirit with them, and we couldn't be prouder. And speaking of music, we've got another treat for you this Sunday, October 27th. Prentice Hobbs, a world-renowned trombone artist, will be here at Southern Miss to give a master class for our trombone students. Hobbs isn't just any trombonist. He's a veteran musician who's worked with superstars like Garth Brooks and Faith Hill. He's also contributed to some of the biggest games out there like Halo and Madden football. With over 1,000 recording credits under his belt, Hobbs is a true legend in the industry. This masterclass is going to be packed with valuable insights and tips for our music students, but even if you're not a trombone player, it's still worth attending to witness his expertise firsthand. It's not every day you get to see someone with that much experience and talent share their knowledge in such an intimate setting. Now, if music and performances aren't quite your thing, no worries, I've got some exciting news for all the food lovers out there. Southern Miss has just opened a brand new dining option, and it's one you've probably been waiting for, Panda Express. That's right, the famous Chinese-American fast food chain has set up shop right here in the powerhouse on campus. You can now grab all your favorite wok-cooked dishes like orange chicken, kung pao chicken, and beef with broccoli without even leaving campus. And let me tell you, the powerhouse itself has quite the history. Originally built in 1934 to provide heat to the campus, it's now been completely transformed into a modern dining space while still maintaining that historic charm. Here's a pro tip for all students on unlimited meal plans. After 4 p.m., you can use your meal swipes at Panda Express. So if you're craving a quick and tasty meal after class, you know where to go. Switching gears a bit, let's talk about something that gives us all a chance to give back to our community. This Saturday, October 26th, the City of Hattiesburg is hosting the annual Make a Difference Day, and it's an awesome opportunity to get involved. There will be various projects happening around the city, from picking up litter to helping with beautification efforts. It's a great way to spend a Saturday morning and make a real impact. Plus, it's a fun way to bond with friends and classmates while doing something positive. So if you ever thought about giving back or making a difference, this is a perfect event to jump in and get involved. And for those of you looking to extend your kindness beyond our local community, I've got another opportunity for you. Just the Crumbs Ministries in Summerall is continuing their hurricane relief efforts in North Carolina, and they need our help. They've been feeding nearly 5,000 people each day, but they're running low on supplies. Items like canned goods and to-go plates are especially needed right now. So if you're able to, please consider dropping off some donations. Every little bit helps, and it's a great way to contribute to a cause that's making a huge difference in the lives of so many people. All right, Southern Miss, before we wrap things up, I've got to leave you with a funny story that's been making the rounds lately, one that's just too good not to share. It's a tale that's got all the ingredients for some Halloween humor, and trust me, it'll put a smile on your face. So, picture this: a little red squirrel in Mississippi finds itself in a rather peculiar predicament. It somehow managed to get itself stuck in a manhole cover. Yes, you heard that right, a squirrel in a manhole. Now, if you're thinking this sounds like the beginning of some wacky cartoon, you're not too far off. The local animal control had to come to the rescue, but this wasn't just a simple grab and go situation. The squirrel, understandably not thrilled with its situation, tried biting its way out and even snapping at the rescuers. But after some heroic efforts, they finally managed to free the little guy, who promptly made a break for it, probably in search of a safer spot to stash its acorns. The squirrel was unharmed, but we can only imagine the look on its face when it realized it was stuck in the middle of a busy street surrounded by humans. It's stories like this that reminds us that even in spooky October, there's always room for a little humor. Whether it's squirrels in manholes or surprise pumpkin spottings, Mississippi has no shortage of quirky and funny moments. Stay alert, you never know what kind of strange but hilarious events might pop up next in our neck of the woods. And that's your news roundup, folks, but don't go anywhere. We still got sports, weather, and a few surprises waiting for you on the other side of this break. Southern Miss Today will be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water, water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online. Sponsorship comes from American Graphics. Located at 8 Commercial Warehouse Drive in Hattiesburg, American Graphics provides custom screen printing and embroidery. They can be reached by phone at 601-602-2277, and the website is goamericangraphics.com. American Graphics, printing at its finest.
Welcome back, Southern Miss fans. You know what time it is. It's Eagle Sports time, where our Golden Eagles don't just play, they soar. First up, Southern Miss football is gearing up for their next big challenge. Head coach Reed Stringer shared some insight after Tuesday practice. With some major changes shaking things up, he's stepping in as interim head coach and is ready to bring that energy to the field. Our Golden Eagles are taking on James Madison this weekend, and you know it's going to be a showdown. Speaking of upcoming games, mark your calendars for November 9th. The Golden Eagles will be squaring off against Marshall. It's always a good time to bring that Southern Miss spirit, so whether you're tailgating or watching from home, let's show them what it means to be a Golden Eagle. And as always, Southern Miss to the top. For more updates and game details, head over to southernmiss.com. All right, it's time to talk weather. Looks like it's going to be a sunny, toasty day out there. Expect temperatures to climb up to around 88 degrees, perfect for hanging out on the lawn or grabbing some iced coffee between classes. Light winds will keep it breezy, so it's not too hot, but definitely stay hydrated if you're out and about. This warm trend is sticking around for the week, so make the most of it before those cooler fall days roll in. Up next, we have Mississippi Moments produced by the Center for Oral History and Cultural Heritage with Catherine Stringler talking about her experience as an operatic soprano in Germany.
This is Mississippi Moments, produced by the Center for Oral History and Cultural Heritage at the University of Southern Mississippi and supported by the Mississippi Humanities Council. I'm Bill Ellison. For Kathleen Striegler, success as a professional opera singer required a clear-eyed assessment of the voice she had been given. She discusses finding happiness as a Mississippi soprano in Germany.
The person who says, I'm going to be an opera singer and sing at the Metropolitan is very fine if you happen to have an incredible gift from God of an incredibly beautiful voice. But if you have a good voice, but not a great voice, and you're willing to put up with a lot, you have to be very realistic about your talent. And I think that I had to hit this at an early age, even while I was still in college here in Mississippi. And I just said to myself, well, I know I'm good enough to sing in a middle-class German house and be their leading singer. And I want to sing with a repertoire theater where I work with the same people all the time. I don't have the great talent that Leontine Price has, but it's very satisfying to me to play a tragic character perhaps on stage, and watching the little old ladies from the woods near Darmstadt crying and being generally moved or laughing or forgetting whatever cares they had for the day, and knowing that, well, with the talent I have been given, I'm able to reach people. And I think this is what more can anyone ask out of life.
Bill Ellison hosts Voices of Our People World War II, a new podcast from Mississippi Moments, sponsored by the Mississippi Humanities Council. That's Voices of Our People World War II, wherever you get your podcasts.
That was your Mississippi Moment for today. Coming up, we have the pleasure of hearing from Jessica Manales and Abby Phillips. So stick with us while we hear a message from one of our sponsors.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water, water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online.
Put a frog in boiling water and it'll jump right out. But put a frog in cool water and slowly heat it up, that frog will boil. As veterans, we tell ourselves the lie that we can handle anything. We let the water boil. You are not a frog. If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach. Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
All right, Southern Miss listeners, get ready for an exciting and enlightening segment today. We've got two fantastic guests joining us today who are here to broaden our horizons, literally. I'm thrilled to introduce Jessica Banales and Abby Phillips from the Office of Study Abroad at Southern Miss. They both play a huge role in connecting students to amazing study abroad opportunities, helping them explore the world while earning their degrees. Whether you're thinking about taking your studies overseas or just curious about what international programs are out there, this conversation is going to be packed with all the info and inspiration you need. So let's dive right in. How are you both doing today?
Hi there.
Doing well.
Thanks for a great
Awesome.
introduction.
Of course. Now, thank you again for joining us. To kick things off, can you tell us a little bit about what your role at the Office of Study Abroad entails?
Yeah, so I'm the assistant director, but I've been in the office for 10 years now, which is kind of wild. Yeah. Where does the time go,
decade,
right?
yeah.
So, but I've done all sorts of roles throughout. And so just, really being supportive of students being able to have these international experiences, whether that be through our faculty-led programs, internships abroad, or international exchange. We even have student teaching opportunities. So those are the kind of the programs I help students personally on, along with some others. But yeah, that's just part of the mission altogether.
Yeah, and I'm the program manager in the office, and I primarily am there to help answer questions for students that they might have and help prepare them and make sure that they are as prepared as possible before actually heading out on one of our programs.
Absolutely. Now, study abroad sounds so exciting, but some students might be a little hesitant. What would you say are the top reasons students should consider studying abroad during their time at Southern Miss?
Yeah, well, I mean, the first and foremost is everybody needs certain credit, right, to graduate. And so why not do that while traveling the world? Because you're earning Southern Miss credit on our programs. But you're just doing it on a different campus, if you will. Think of it that way. So I think that's a lot of fun, being able to explore new cultures. A lot of our students, this is the first time they've ever gotten on a plane. So we help them through that whole process and make sure they have support and a good comfort level prior to doing that. So I think that's one of the best ways to get travel experience, earn that USM credit that you need. But as well, it helps with their resume and career building.
Yeah, if you're looking for a way to really stand out in job applications post-graduation, this is the best way to do that. It is well documented that employers really look for students who have studied abroad.
Ooh.
So if you take just that step of doing a study abroad, you're already going to stand out. But then if you do a student teaching abroad or an internship abroad, you're getting practical experience to go straight into the workforce immediately after this. So it's a great opportunity. Plus, when else are you going to have the time and not the family obligations and all the things that happen post-graduation to be able to spend a month, 2 months abroad, whatever that looks like.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, why not?
Why not? What kinds of programs does Southern Miss offer through the Study Abroad office? Are there any opportunities for students in all majors?
Yeah, so our programs are open to all majors. So if anybody's out there thinking they want to do this, we can make it happen through one of our many programs. We have faculty-led, which are our supported group programs, if you will. So you're going with a group of USM students and faculty and studying abroad. To our more independent programs, as mentioned, internships, student teaching, and international exchange. So we always recommend students take a browse on our website, see what we've got going on, and then set up an appointment with one of the folks in the office to sit down and kind of have one-on-one, really finding which program's best for them, because we do have such a wide selection. It helps to have that one-on-one time to find out what's best for them.
It does.
Yeah, and it's a great opportunity for students to get that direct credit they may need, but also keep in mind all USM students need upper level elective hours as well.
Yes.
So if we don't have biochemistry faculty-led program, but you are really in love with music, we've got a program just for that you'll have fun while still earning that credit that you need.
That does sound very exciting. Studying abroad can be a big decision. What advice do you have for students who are interested but aren't sure where to start?
Yeah, I guess the first place to start is our website, studyabroad.usm.edu. We've got a lot of information on there, and I know one of the big questions is always money.
Right.
So we've got some great resources out there that can direct you into scholarships that are study abroad specific. But then, like Jessica said, start that appointment with us, and we can help with step one of what that looks like for you. Finances are always the biggest concern, and the thing to keep in mind is that any of your current financial aid and scholarships that you're already receiving, if it's applicable during the time you're going abroad, it's applicable to our programs. You're earning that USM credit. Now, obviously, there are a couple of stipulations to that, like performance-based scholarships. You obviously have to be on the Hattiesburg campus or the Gulf Park campus to earn that scholarship. But outside of that, anything else, it could apply to our programs.
Okay, well, how has the demand for study abroad programs evolved in recent years, especially with the impact of the pandemic?
Yeah, I mean, I think we live in an ever-changing world, and so our programs are always evolving with those changes. And, you know, when I first started in the office like 10 years ago, some of our independent programs were a little more attended, to where now we have more faculty-led programs. You know, when our office started back in the 70s, I think it was, we had one faculty-led program, which was our British Studies program.
Ooh.
British Studies is still around and keeping going, but along with that, we are offering probably around 15 plus faculty-led programs now.
Goodness.
So faculty-led's definitely the demand, because students want a little more support and go with a group to these new places for their first time going abroad. So I'd say that's kind of the evolution we've seen, is more faculty-led coming to the forefront.
That's really good to hear. What's the process like for selecting a study abroad destination? How does your office help students figure out what's the best fit for them?
Yeah, so I think it goes back to making an appointment with us and sitting down and talking about what your goals are for study abroad. So what kind of credits are you wanting to earn? What kind of support are you wanting? And that will help guide, are we going to start with a faculty-led program? Is one of our partner programs going to be a better option for you because of location or credit? So there's a lot of things to take into consideration, and it really is, it comes down to the individual student and what they're looking for and what they need out of this opportunity.
Okay, in your experience, what are some of the cultural or academic benefits that students gain from studying abroad?
Yeah, well, gosh, there's so many.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it really depends on the student, and these programs are set up in a way that what the student puts into it is what they'll get out of it.
Right.
You know, preparing themselves for these programs to know a little bit about the location that they're traveling to and the subject in which they're studying, and just preparing themselves on the front end through all the resources that we provide. And then while on site, really just diving in and fully embracing all the changes, all the differences. You know, students will, of course, go through culture shock and things like that. But, you know, we're there to help support. But if a student is really willing to be open-minded with open arms in this new host country in which they're visiting, I think they get so much out of that, meeting new people, seeing things in a different perspective, because you don't really see how things are different until you leave your bubble, right? And understanding that just because something is different doesn't mean it's wrong, and understanding what those differences are, I think, are really important.
I think one of the best parts of our job is being on site with students and seeing how some of those differences may seem scary initially or may just seem really weird. But then as the program goes on, you see the transformation of them becoming like a resident of their host country that they're there. So one of the things I always think about is in London, especially on an escalator, it is standard over there that you stand on the right side and you walk on the left side. And, you know, students have to learn that. And at first they're like, oh my gosh, I'm getting pushed out by a Londoner trying to really speed off to work. But then, you know, after a week, they're the one that are telling tourists to stand on the right side. So it's always fun to see that evolution of them starting to embrace things that were different initially, but now are just the normal.
And they're getting more comfortable.
Yeah.
How long are the typical study abroad programs? Can students go abroad for a semester, or are there shorter summer options too?
Yeah. I mean, we have it all again. We really try to make sure we're offering everything. So students can go for 2.5 weeks, like during the January intersession. We are offering more and more during that term. A full semester all the way up to an academic year.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, it really is up to the student. Each program is going to be different again. And then summer programs, same thing. We have everything from 2 weeks to a month to 7 weeks during the summer. So we really do have a wide range. And again, it just comes down to, I always like to ask students, you know, where do you want to go? How long do you want to be gone? And what kind of credit are you looking to earn? And those 3 questions really help us pinpoint which program's best for that student.
Some students might worry about language barriers. What would you say to someone concerned about traveling to a country where they don't speak the language?
Yeah, that is for sure a great concern, and something that we have tried to think through as we've helped develop some of these programs. And the majority of our programs are going to be Western Europe based, which means that English is very common. So that should help a little bit. Some of our programs are specific to learning a French language or a Spanish language. So obviously that language, at least interest, should be there at least initially. And so with those specific programs, we really try to help students that are just starting off learning that language and help make that immersion into that language a little smoother. But all the way up to students who are in 400 level language and want to continue their knowledge and build their language experience. The best way to do that is in country when you have to use the language.
Right.
So that's a really good opportunity for them. But if somebody just wants to hear English and be able to navigate easier, we've got those programs as well. And those programs, again, are going to be from 2 weeks to a full academic year. So we've got something that can hopefully have students be comfortable enough, but also pushing their comfort zones a little as well. So.
Okay. Can you tell us about any partnerships Southern Miss has with universities abroad? What makes these collaborations unique?
Yeah, so this is through our exchange programs. We have several partners. So most of them are based in the United Kingdom. So we have Swansea University that's based in Wales. We have Kiel that is based in England. And then we have The Hague based in the Netherlands, and then several in Spain and France, and the list goes on. But we've had these partnerships for decades, especially like Swansea University. We've been working with them, I want to say, since the 70s or 80s. So it's really cool to be able to have these long-term partnerships, and our students can attend their classes and see what it's like to be a student in Wales, for a semester or a year. And but the best part is they are still earning USM credit through this whole credit sub process that we do. But it's really cool to be able to have students attend these classes and our partners that we've had for so long, and feel like one of the locals, on campus. Yeah.
Right. What countries or regions are currently the most popular for studying abroad programs at Southern Miss?
100% the United Kingdom.
Okay.
And I think a lot of it has to go back to what you were just talking about, and the language.
Yes.
They sound a little different than us, but at least it's words you're familiar with, which helps a lot. Sometimes, yes, true.
Yeah, definitely. Our British Studies program, like we mentioned earlier, is our flagship. So it was established in 1976. So if you do the math, our 50th anniversary is coming up very soon, which is exciting. But that program has sent hundreds upon hundreds of students. It's really cool when you get some legacies coming back that say, my mom and dad did this program, and now I'm going to do it. Or even my grandmother. I mean, it's really getting to that.
Yeah.
So it's a really cool legacy here at Southern Miss having the British Studies program.
What are some common myths or misconceptions about studying abroad that you'd like to clear for our listeners?
That's a good question.
That's a great question.
I think one of the big ones is, this costs way too much money. I can't do it. And I mean, that's a good, thing to understand.
Yeah.
Understand. So it goes back to, yes, it does cost money to do this, but studying abroad is made for college students. So there are ways to help fund this, and sometimes they are straightforward as loans or straightforward as scholarships, but then there are some really cool nationally competitive study abroad specific scholarships, specifically the Gilman Scholarship that is available to any student that's Pell Grant eligible, and it's worth up to $5,000 to study abroad. USM the past few years has been the university in the state who has had the most Gilman recipients, and that's something we're really proud of. So there are ways of doing it, even if you have to kind of think outside of the box and do a car wash, or make your wish list for holidays coming up more geared towards money or things that you'll need while you're abroad. So if you think about it from a few different ways, there are ways to get your study abroad program paid for. And a good way to start with that is on the Go system as well. So there are ways to make it happen for sure.
Certainly.
All right. Are there any exciting events planned for the future?
Yeah, so we're excited. We always participate in International Education Week, and we are hosting it very soon, just a couple of weeks away. So November 4th through 8th. And we have a plethora of events planned, but specifically I'd like to shout out our photo contest that we've got happening right now, where students can submit any photos from anywhere in the world they've been. And so that's a really fun one, and we'll unveil the top 10 or so at the kickoff event on Monday, the November 4th. And then on Tuesday is a really fun-filled day. We've got an international festival happening, including a study abroad fair. So any students wanting more information about our programs can stop by the fair. We're in the Thad Cochran Center from 11 to 1 and can come by and chat with us one-on-one and see our options. Along with doing different things throughout the week, we have different info sessions. There's also going to be a Pakistani coffee hour. We're partnered with Smack to do movie night. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And I highly recommend students following us on Instagram. So we're at Study Abroad USM, and we'll be posting all of our events there. And hopefully students can come and interact. It's all about a cultural exchange. So we have a large student body here on campus of international students. So they will also be participating in our cultural and diversity fair and things like that. So it'll be a good time.
That sounds super exciting. Lastly, for any students listening who are feeling inspired, what's the first step they should take to get started on their study abroad journey?
Yeah, visit studyabroad.usm.edu. That is going to be the first step. You can make an appointment with us on that website. You can also learn about all of our current programs that we're offering. Do keep in mind some of our programs do rotate, so they may be offered this summer and may not be offered again for another year or so. So if you don't see something right now that maybe is applicable to your major, check back with us. Come talk with us because we may have something that is off rotation this year. But then also follow us on Instagram. We post a lot of good information, a lot of events that are coming up, and we also have students that are currently abroad. They'll do takeovers, so you can see what a day in the life is like of someone who's currently abroad. So you can follow us at Study Abroad USM, Instagram, Facebook, and that will, either of those locations are going to give you a lot of information.
Okie dokie. Well, thank you so much, Jessica and Abby, for all that amazing information. I think it's safe to say that studying abroad opens up a world of opportunities, pun absolutely intended. From personal growth to professional development, it's clear that these programs have the power to truly transform a student's college experience. So Southern Miss, if you're sitting there with a bit of wanderlust or just a curiosity about what's out there, make sure to reach out to the Study Abroad office. This could be your chance to study in a completely different country and make memories that will last a lifetime. Thank you again, Jessica and Abby, for joining us today. It's been such a pleasure.
Thanks for having us.
Of course. Coming up, we have a news wrap on USM's holding events to celebrate William D. Campbell's 100th birthday.
Southern Miss will officially host events to celebrate the 100th birthday of William D. Campbell. Born on July 18, 1924, William Davis Campbell was a preacher, author, and a civil rights activist. Today, I interviewed Jennifer Brannick, who is the curator of rare books and Mississippiana in special collections at Southern Miss. Here is what she had to say about the upcoming events.
He was born 100 years ago this year, so that's why we're hosting all these events about him. And he became very active in the civil rights movement. So we have his manuscript papers here at the University in special collections. So in this we have his original writings, copies of drafts of his book, photographs from his life, just a whole bunch of things that document his life and career. On November 4th at 6 o'clock, we're sponsoring a talk over in Gonzalez Auditorium in the Liberal Arts Building. And there we're going to have someone talk about his kind of Christian ideology and how it related to how he lived his life. You know, the exhibit's going to be great because it'll highlight a lot of the materials we have. You know, I'd really like people to become acquainted with him, you know, get to know what he did and kind of interact with the materials.
For more information, go to usm.edu/news/2024/release/william-campbell.php. Micaiah Jackson, SM2 News.
And that's a wrap up for today's show. Thank you again to Jessica and Abby for joining us today and sharing such valuable insights about the study abroad experience. And as always, a massive shout out to everyone who makes Southern Miss Today possible. Carr, our audio engineer, Gabby, our film producer, Shania, our program director, Ari, our executive producer, Hannah, our assistant producer, and of course, our general manager, Dr. Martin. We couldn't do it without you guys. I'm your host, Miracle Jennings, signing off. Have an amazing day, and we'll catch you next time.